What's up, guys? Hey, I hope everybody's doing well. I want to share with you today a little something that I have been working on that others have been working on now for, well, this project started about 5 years ago. Um, and to give you the lowdown, essentially, I'm a big woods hunter that has hunted in rubber boots for a long, long time. And when I started hunting elk out west, wearing leather boots, I was like, man, I don't, I'd get back here. That's like the month before, our season start here in the Northeast. And I've been wearing leather boots, and they're so good to travel in. We're going sometimes 20 plus miles in a day out there trail walking, and you're in a leather boot, and that feels pretty good. And then you get back here and you jump into a rubber boot, which we all cut our teeth tracking bucks in these rubber boots. And it's like, it's terrible. It's hard on your feet. It's not as efficient. Yes, it is helpful when you get into wet environments, and I understand that, and that's why I stayed with them. But fact of the matter was, I had had enough. So I switched over to leather boots, and the first thing that I did was took and sewed in to my wool pants. I sewed in a kind of like this stuff right here, this really lightweight and like a Gore-Tex, but a flexible, lightweight, waterproof layer. And I had that sewn in to the inside of my wool pants, essentially up to just below my knee. And then I would wear Velcro around the bottom of the boot, cinch that tight rather than doing duct tape. I would Velcro. It was easy to take it on, or put it on, take it off, change things up. And that worked pretty good. But it wasn't exactly what I wanted. I really wanted a gaiter. Most of the gaiters that you find out there are loud. They're noisy. It's more of a nylon type material, and that wasn't something that was going to work for me in the way that I hunt. So I wanted something wool. So the first prototype I had my seamstress make. Gaiters seemed to be the thing that was going to work well for me. Again, not going to be like, you're not going to walk through a river with a gaiter on and not get wet, but you are going to walk through situations of like that mucky wet, or a stream crossing that you're not having to spend a lot of time in. The gaiter works pretty good for that. It also blouses your pants. It protects your wool pants. They're not wet when you take the gaiter off at the end of the day. You can, switch it out, put on another pair. You can change, you take those off. Maybe you're changing boots or something, but your wool pants are still dry. So, first prototype. Bless her heart, Beth. This was my wife's wedding dress seamstress. I went to her with essentially a drawing. I gave her another gaiter. I said, hey, can we create something out of wool? We took old army wool blankets, and that's literally this right here. And we created a gaiter, nylon straps, like, it worked. All this stuff, the Velcro, everything was right off of Amazon. The waterproof material, I sourced that from a company that does these types of fabrics. And we made the first round of these things. We made 6 pairs. I had my hunting buddies wear them. I wore them. And this is one of the originals. No holes in that thing. These have probably done, I don't know, 300 to 400 miles on this pair. There's definitely, you run into the wrong situation and you get a stick or something, it's going to tear it. Then we went a couple seasons with those, and then I got chatting with my buddies Adam and Greg over to Stagr, and I'm like, let's do this thing and do it right. We came up with the first prototype here. These worked. Great gaiter, way more rugged. They weren't as quiet, as we were looking for, and we knew that, but it gave us a first step. That was that line there, that run. And then this past season, I ran this one that you can see here. Wool on the outside, really quiet. It's got a waterproof backing. Again, can you go through, walk through a river, that's 10 or 15 yards across and stay dry? No, and I've done that. You're going to get wet. It's not as wet as if I just had the leather boots on. you're not going to be as dry as rubber. But for me, in the entire season, that might happen, you know, a couple times. And if I'm in an area that's super wet and I know there's a good chance that I'm going to be crossing a river, I'm going to be going through, you know, beaver bogs and shit like that, well, then I might throw on my rubber boots. But for the majority of the time that I'm in the woods, I'm in leather boots 99% of the time. And these things are freaking awesome. They keep your feet warm. I wear an uninsulated, I know you guys are going to ask, I wear an uninsulated leather boot. This is the Schnee's Timberline. This is their One Flex. Okay, so this is the thinnest, lightest weight sole essentially that you can get. And that allows me to, you know, feel the ground, you know, more effectively than some of the thicker soles on like a 2-3 or even a 4 Flex leather boot, like those mountain boots. I love these things. I actually had them retreaded this year, which saved me quite a bit of cash with buying a new pair of boots. But yeah, these things are awesome, guys. I'm showing them here. These are just this is like a tactical pant, not a wool pant. I don't wear a thick wool, pretty thin wool pant, and they work great. They don't slide down. They hold just above the top of the calf. I never punctured them. I really had no issues whatsoever. They're quiet. I'm a huge fan, and I'm seeing more and more guys that are making that switch, or you know in your head, like, I hate walking in rubber boots. Who the hell wants to do 10 miles in, you know, slippery, wet, snowy conditions in rubber boots, right? Like, it's not effective. It's less efficient. You put leather boots on and you will be just motoring through the woods. Doesn't tax you so much by way of like your hip flexors, your knees. There's a whole host of reasons why I'm an advocate for leather, and that's somebody that went about 15 years in rubber boots. So I highly recommend it. And again, it's not for like maybe every situation. There's always going to be guys that are like, no, I won't do that. Too much water where I hunt. Well, yeah, that's fine. But it does give you the option should those situations come up. And for the Western hunters out there, I mean, I'm always wearing gaiters when I'm out west. This provides just a little bit more warmth. They're a little bit quieter. They're actually a lot quieter than a lot of the those real nylon. I don't even know what some of the materials are on like the kuyus and such. They're going to be a lot quieter. They're very durable, and I'm a huge fan, if you can't tell already. So anyway, yeah, Stagr's going to have them. I'm not exactly sure the name of them yet, but I'm hoping that maybe we call them like the Ridgeline Gaiter or something. But no, those guys are great, and it's going to be a really awesome product, and I can't wait to hear what everybody thinks about it. So go check them out.